Hey, what's up guys, it's C-Stacks, and we are back after kind of a lengthy hiatus. There hasn't been any new sets to open since Buffy in December, and then I've kind of been slacking on my spoiler videos because it's been a pretty hectic month for me. I got the flu, and it's just been kind of a nightmare, but we are back in the swing of things, and I just got my Cosmic Avengers set, so let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open because it's some pretty exciting stuff in here, so let's go ahead and get on to it. Take a look at the box real briefly as we usually do. So we're in Volume 2 finally, number 1. And let's take a look at what it says here. Alright, kicking off an all-new volume of Versus System 2 PCG expansions, this first issue in the Infinity War story arc features the Earth's mightiest heroes geared up to battle a devastating cosmic threat. Stack your deck with powerful heroes like Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Hawkeye. Only the entire universe is at stake. So yeah, very cool. Alright, get this bad boy open. Alright, I'll show you guys the rule sheet really quickly, just as I usually do, just really briefly. You can stop and pause if you want to look at it more in depth. So anyway, there's that. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at these cards. Alright. So first up we have Black Panther main character. At level 1 he's a 3/4 with 5 wounds. He's got bulletproof, which seems to me like that's going to be really good on a main character. So bulletproof is characters with range can't strike Black Panther even in melee combat. He's got leap, so he has flight on your turn, and then his level up is passing down the knowledge. So he needs 6 XP. When one or more equipment, plot twists, or supporting characters are put into your KO pile from anywhere, Black Panther gains an XP. And then at level 2, he's still got bulletproof and leap. He's a 6/8, and then he has commune with the ancestors. So build for a yellow, put an equipment, plot twist, or supporting character from your KO pile into your hand. So that seems pretty good. I think that's a pretty solid card. And then we have the new Captain Marvel, Avengers Captain Marvel. She is a 3/3 with 6 wounds, flight and range. She's aka Miss Marvel, of course. She has alien physiology. Captain Marvel can't have -1/-1 counters. She has military background, so main for a green, Captain Marvel strikes an enemy sporting character, and then 5 senses, level up for 5. When a character on your side strikes on your turn, Captain Marvel gains an XP. So that alien physiology is like a direct counter to Thor. So this may be like the new Thor counter meta, because she can't be lightning bolted, which is pretty cool. So then she goes up to level 2. She's a 5/5. And she's still got that alien physiology. She has security background this time, so reaction for a red. When an enemy sporting character appears, Captain Marvel strikes it. And then she has 6th sense, so 6 XP. When a character on your side strikes on an enemy turn, Captain Marvel gains an XP. So that one's a little more difficult to achieve because it has to be on an enemy turn. So if they try to like strike this first, you'll gain that 1 XP. But then after they strike everybody else, get XP for that. Anything that says like on an enemy turn is kind of kind of wonky. And then finally, she is at level 3 as a 7/7 with 7 wounds. She still has alien physiology, and now she has 7th sense. When Captain Marvel enters combat, she may strike an enemy sporting character not in combat. So that's kind of cool. She seems okay. That second level up isn't all that great. I think the biggest thing she has going for her is that she probably has a decent time against Thor. And then we have main character Hawkeye. I'm really excited to see this finally. He seems okay. So he's got 5/2 and 5 wounds. He's got range. He's got custom quiver. So you start the game with a quiver, which is of course your pile of arrows, as we see here. We'll get to those in a bit. When a character on your side makes a range attack, Hawkeye gains an XP. So that's circus shots. He needs 5 of those. And then he turns into a level 2. He has I am the weapon. Once during each of your turns, but not during combat, you may put a random card from your quiver into your hand. And then he has quick draw. So while Hawkeye is range attacking, enemy characters can't strike back at him, which is seems like a pretty good thing to have on a main character. Just since we were talking about Hawkeye right now. Let's go ahead and just skip to the quiver. We'll just skip forward to the quiver. So, he says, once during each of your turns, but not during combat, you may put a random card from your quiver into your hand. So, the quiver is a separate pile that has one of each of these plot twists. So, you have the defensive arrowheads. So, it says custom arrow. They all say this. This card starts the game in your quiver. Any turn combat, if Hawkeye is face up on your side, choose one of the following arrows, then choose an enemy attacker. So, shock is -3 attack for that combat. Fireworks is -3 defense this combat. 2-prong, put two -1 counters on it and each other attacker. That one seems really good. Neutralizer, remove all +1 counters from it, and portal, remove it from the combat. And then we have offensive arrowheads. Combat, if Hawkeye is face up on your side, choose one of the following arrows. Yep, and then choose an enemy character. So, magic arrow, put a +1/+1 counter on each character attacking it. Grenade, put a -1 counter on it and each other character in its row. That one's really good. Parachute, it gets -5 attack this combat. Diamond tipped, it gets -2 defense this combat. And boomerang, it gets -1 defense this combat. Put this card back into your quiver. Gosh, these cards have a lot of words on them. We have powered arrowheads. Main, if Hawkeye is on your side, choose one of the following arrows, then choose a character on your side this time. So adamantium arrow, it has sniper this turn, smoke bomb, it has stealth this turn, barbed wire, it has lethal this turn, incendiary, it has violent this turn, pin particle, it has shrink until the start of your next turn. And then finally, we have utility arrowheads. Also, what an artwork. Oh my gosh. Okay, so main, if Hawkeye is face up on your side, choose one of the following arrows, then choose an enemy character. Boxing glove, push it to its back row, love that one. Suction cup, pull it to its front row. Net, daze it. Freezing, freeze it. Magnetic, move and equipment on it to an unequipped character. So those are your arrows that you will find in your quiver. Alright, let's go ahead and go on to the supporting characters. So first, I think we're starting with, okay, so we have 2-drop Nomad. So there's no 1-drops in here, but we have 2-drop Nomad. He's aka Captain America. He has no team affiliation. He's a 4/4/1. And he's man without a country, so Nomad can't have a team affiliation. And then he has Reclaim the Mantle. You pay 2 less to recruit Captain America supporting characters. I also like the really classic artwork where they went with for that one. There we go. And we have 3-drop Black Knight. He's a 2/4/2 with flight and Combat Master. He's got Combat Master, so while Black Knight is in combat, enemy players can't play plot twists. Then he has Wielder of the Ebony Blade. So build for a blue, search your deck for an Ebony Blade equipment and equip it to Black Knight. So we will jump and check out Ebony Blade. Just trying to keep things in a proper order here. That makes sense. So we have 1-cost Ebony Blade that Black Knight can search for. So Mystic Link. The Ebony Blade can only be equipped to a character named Black Knight or Black Panther. And then Merlin's Magic. When the equipped character strikes, you may turn an enemy basic location face down. If you do, you may turn a basic location on your side with the same type face up. So that's really cool. And this card has the coolest artwork in the entire game. Alright, and then we have 4-drop Odin's Son. This is another guy with no team affiliation. He's aka Thor. He's a 6/5 with 1 wound. And he's unworthy, so Odin's Son can't be equipped and can't have +1/+1 counters. And then he has Reclaim the Mantle, so you pay 4 less to recruit Thor supporting characters. Really like the artwork on him too. Alright, we have 5-drop Mantle Thor. We got Jane Foster here, aka Jane Foster. I thought it was interesting they put aka Jane Foster on here and there's not a Jane Foster card. But you know, they're kind of future-proofing in case eventually there's a Jane Foster card, I guess. So she is 3/7 with 2 wounds. A god who knows how precious life is. So when Thor appears, she may pay an Academy symbol, or I don't know what the actual technical term is for that. Anyway, she may pay a yellow. If she does, heal a wound from a character on your side with exactly 1 remaining health. And then there must always be a Thor. So when, sorry, trying to focus back in. When Mantle Thor is KO'd, you may search your deck for a Thor supporting character, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So that would be a non-Mantle Thor, so a regular old Thor. So we got her. Oh my gosh, I love this card. This card is so cool. So we have Mantle Captain Marvel. I'm not sure why it's having trouble focusing right now. There we go. So we have 6-drop Mantle Captain Marvel. He's a 5/5 with 2 wounds, flight and range. He has alien physiology, so Captain Marvel can't have -1 counters, which is cool. And then this is like one of the funniest powers in the game. So Cosmic Awareness. Once on each of your turns, but not during combat, you may ask an enemy player a yes or no question about their hand. They must answer truthfully. So you could say like, do you have any plot twists in your hand? And they'd have to tell you the truth. Or like, do you have any Fin Fang Fooms in your hand? And they'd have to tell you the truth. Just a really, really kind of fun design. I really like that a lot. And then we are on to the Eternals, which is a kind of an interesting keyword. So we have 7-drop Hyperion. He is a 10/10 with 1 wound, flight and range. And he has Eternal, which is, if Hyperion would leave play, you may put him into his owner's hand instead. And then he has Reliance on Solar Energy. When Hyperion enters combat, an enemy main character on that side may pay a blue. If they do, Hyperion loses and can't gain Eternal. So that's kind of a way to balance him being like a 10/10 with flight and range, I guess. But Eternals is kind of cool. We have 6-drop Cersei. So she is a 12/3 with range and 1 wound. She has Eternal, so if she leaves play, you can put her back into your hand. And then she has Sprite's Trick. At the start of each main phase, if another Eternal is on your side, Cersei loses and can't gain Eternal. And then we're probably the best Eternal. We have 8-drop Gilgamesh. He's got flight. He's a 16/16, so he's like the biggest 8-drop now. I'm curious to see if this becomes like the thing over Foom. Anyway, he's got Eternal, so if he leaves play, he goes back to your hand, and he has the Forgotten One. At the end of your turn, if you didn't say Gilgamesh this turn, he loses and can't gain Eternal. So, be careful to always say Gilgamesh. But yeah, he's a 16/16 with flight, so I don't know. That seems good enough to me. Alright, so then we're into the plot twists. So we have Global Information Network. So build, your main character may pay a yellow. If it does, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 1 in your hand, and the rest on the bottom. So I really like this card. A little bit of consistency fixing, kind of a generic kind of search card, but kind of balanced in a way, because you have to use this card, and you have to pay a yellow, and it's somewhat random. You're looking at the top 5 cards. You're not just searching your deck for cards. So I think this is probably a pretty good way to be doing to do search cards in this game. Speaking of which, we got another really good search card here. We have Wakanda Special Location, kind of the first special location of its kind, and it has Vibranium Technology. So during your build phase, your main character may pay a yellow. If it does, turn this location face down, then search your deck for an equipment, reveal it, put it into your hand. So equipment are searchable now. Again, I think this is kind of balanced in a way because you're paying this location and another card, so you're down 2 cards to search for 1 card. But searching for searching for equipments seems like no joke. You can search for Nullifier now in the upcoming Singularity format, where all cards are one of a kind except for locations. This is a huge consistency booster because all your equipment are one of a kind, but you can play 4 Wakanda to search for them. So, that's pretty cool. So I'm very excited to play with these cards. Hopefully gonna try to get together my group soon and play a bunch of games. Test the new Singularity format, testing for the upcoming Texas event. So hopefully I'll have some games up for you guys here pretty soon, with some Avengers stuff, some other cool decks, some Singularity format stuff coming up, maybe a little bit of the Mutants Only format that will be played at Gen Con. And that kind of thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.